I've asked Google what the top 10 responsibilities of a Scrum Master are, and here's what it came up with. Very mixed bag, but we'll open it up in this video. Hi, I'm Michael. I'm an enterprise coach and have accompanied hundreds of teams in adopting better ways of working, helping them improve significantly, both by adopting agile ways of working and helping them fix stuff other practitioners have broken. Let's take a look at the list. Point number 1. Implement project management best practices. That's so wrong. I don't know where to start. Scrum Masters neither are project managers nor are they qualified to do so. If you want to do project management, just do that. A PMI certified project manager is probably going to do much better at this than 99% of Scrum Masters. But that's just because it's not what a Scrum Master does. And for this thing about best practices, there are no agile best practices that could be implemented. We're talking about situational effectiveness. So the Scrum Master's first responsibility would be figuring out what works and what doesn't. Not arrive with a suitcase full of best practices to implement by the textbook. You know, this is one of the reasons why I'm torn when hearing about Scrum Masters with project management background. I've met really good Scrum Masters who used to be project managers, but they knew the difference between the roles. If they bring their PM role into the Scrum Master role, it's not going to bode well. The Scrum Master will become a source of command and control and destroy the team's Scrum. So no, this statement is 2 lemons in 1. Next one. Keep all parties on track and informed. Again, that's a project manager. It's slightly better though. Making sure all parties are on track and informed is important. But then we need to dig in, and that's where it will fall apart completely. First, on track regarding what? To do the work? No. If with on track we mean achieving meaningful business objectives, it makes sense. If it means following the plan, it's nonsense. Let's give this one the benefit of doubt here. Okay, so the Scrum Master must make sure that people have the right means to get the information they need and autonomously make the best possible decisions that help them achieve their goals. The Scrum Master is not the person who keeps people on track. Instead, they're like an outer loop to support people in determining what on track even means. Scrum Masters also support people in figuring out what to do when they've lost sight of their goal. Also, we prefer real-time, pull-based information sources so that people can get informed when they need to and how they would like to without reporting or status meetings. Even with the benefit of doubt, I still think this one is a double lemon. Point number 3, introduce agile engineering practices. Yes! Hey, I like it! I wish more Scrum Masters would. In order to do that though, they need relevant experience with agile engineering practice. That's one thing most Scrum Masters don't even know that it's their responsibility. But if they took this one seriously, the entire industry might be in a better state. For this one, all I can say is thumbs up. Point number 4. Coach team members. That's a catch-all. But yes, in this sense, let me interpret coach as supporting the team with everything they need in order to maximize their professionalism. And then we have a bingo. For newly formed Scrum teams, especially when we have developers who've never worked in an Agile way before, this is one of the main effort drivers for the Scrum Master. Now, returning to how it's a catch-all, in my book, I think that coaching team members goes from bringing people to bond as a team all the way to sitting down with them in pair programming and helping them improve their development practice, which again would require technical competence, so it's not something we could take for granted. But yes, thumbs up on this one. Hosting daily stand-up meetings. Ah, no. Not host, not stand-up, not meeting. First, the daily scrum isn't a meeting, it's an event to refocus the team on their goal. It might include anything from interpersonal stuff like not feeling well today to micro-planning like how do we tackle this specific thing today. Second, it's not a stand-up. Irrespective of the diversity and inclusion issues, it's totally okay when people sit there at their desk. You know, I've seen Scrum Masters who actually made people stand up in front of their laptop camera in their home office. Don't. Just don't. And third, the Scrum Master only has to make sure that the team achieves the purpose of the daily. They don't need to be present, much less should the Scrum Master host this event. Let me tell you a quick story of a Scrum Master who did this very well. When he was checking whether his team's daily was effective, developers started to look to him for guidance, so he started picking his nose, just to make sure people stopped looking at him. Of course, everyone glared, so he just said, "What are you looking at? Just ignore me. I'm not here as a participant." Anyway, lemon. Next one, assisting the product owner with the product backlog. This is close to being good and dangerously close to being highly dysfunctional. You know, when I'm a Scrum Master for a PO who doesn't have much experience with backlog management, of course I sit down and help them learn the basics, such as how to determine backlog item value, making cost-benefit hypotheses, how to make tough calls, and what information may be needed to make meaningful choices, what to bring to the team and what to withhold, and so on. But what I don't do is mess with the backlog. I'm not gonna check the status of a backlog item, refine it, or make any update to the backlog itself. I had a case where a team's backlog was running empty because the PO didn't do what they should have been doing. They weren't nagging stakeholders on their needs and keeping the backlog sufficiently full. So the team ran an empty sprint to make some technical improvements, while the PO had to arrange conversations with the stakeholders. And that, again, is a Scrum Master topic. But back to topic here. I'm pretty sure this could be a lemon, but it could have some merit. I'll give it the benefit of doubt. Thumbs up. Next one. Remove roadblocks. Well, yes and no. As I like to say, the Scrum Master needs to make sure impediments get removed, preferably without their doing. As an enterprise coach, I often have to stop Scrum Masters who are overzealous and do the impediment removal all by themselves. Conversation might go like this: "So, what are you working on?" This and that blocker for the team. "What's the team working on?" Something else. "And how's the most important item of the team going forward?" "Well, they had to put it further back because it's blocked." So, which developer is working on the most important item? Well, nobody. And if it's an important blocker, we need everybody who can contribute to contribute. Not do something less important and wait for the Scrum Master. That's what autonomy is all about. Also, Scrum Masters who do this kind of thing turn themselves into a bottleneck if they are the impediment remover. What if they get sick or on vacation? Team members need to learn to remove impediments. The Scrum Master's job is to help them learn how to do that. So I'll give this one a slice lemon. Teach Scrum practices and principles. Yes, but it's not nearly as important as it may seem, because the practices and principles don't matter if they're not being followed. Our main focus here is not on the teaching, but on creating transparency what gets in the way of properly applying them and how we could deal with that. Also, I don't even know what Scrum practices are supposed to mean. Probably those are supporting practices that work well with Scrum. Yeah, we need those, if they help. But maybe we don't. Professionals tend to know what worked for them. We should only introduce new stuff when something we currently does not work. And even then, we should be really cautious about layering new stuff on top of old stuff. Rather, fix and remove the old stuff. Not sure. Yes, but. Okay, benefit of doubt. Thumbs up. Let's summarize. All in all, I'd give 5 lemons and a grudging 4 thumbs up, and that's not enough to make the cut. From a big picture perspective, this Google result from Simply Learn seems to confuse Scrum Masters and project managers. It's rather sad that this is Google's primary hit for what a Scrum Master does. This misinformation hurts companies looking for Scrum Masters as much as it hurts budding Scrum Masters. And most of all, it hurts teams who lose the opportunity to take advantage of good Scrum if they get a Scrum Master who does what the list says. I can predict the outcomes of this form of Scrum will be mediocre, and stakeholder satisfaction with Scrum will be low. If you'd like to know more about what a successful Scrum Master does, try connecting with me on LinkedIn or following this channel.